Hey guys, thank you so much for joining. Welcome back. Um, we are back here talking about Diablo 4, going over what we know so far about the game, news, going over classes more in depth, and kind of speculating for certain other things. So let me know what you guys think here. We will be continuing our discussion as the weeks go forward. More updates are coming in. If you guys haven't checked our previous discussions on Diablo 4, go right ahead and do that as well. We went through a lot of things already. I'll leave a description, or I should say, a link in the description below. So we're going to start off with what we know so far. So not kind of going over everything that we have already, but kind of newer things here. So things that we haven't went over yet. So there's a lot of things that Diablo is known for. They're not all good in that sense. And let me explain what I mean by that. So mainly focusing on the inventory, right? I think we all know and remember and have that familiar Tetris look going into the inventory, trying to pick up new items, realizing, oh, we don't have enough room here, having to throw them out, using a portal, going to town, disenchant, selling them, putting them in our backup. Oh my god, it's hectic. So they're taking all that stuff off, at least at the moment, right? We're still pretty early in the development, but they're taking all this stuff out right now. So it's going to be a lot easier to kind of manage your inventory. From what I'm thinking right now, they're probably gonna go and do it something similar to Diablo 3 on the PlayStation, for example, right? Like more on the console games where you essentially just pick it up and it's there, and you have X amount of items that you can actually carry at any one time rather than trying to place it somewhere. So this is what I'm speculating right now. It makes sense that they would do something like that, right? Other things, ancient items, right? Uh, Huge thing. You're From what they're saying right now is you're gonna be able to kind of like create your own, ancient item, which is amazing. Rather than walking around and try to find the perfect one for you, well, you can kind of go and create your own, which is fantastic. I really can't wait to see how they're gonna apply this. I'm assuming it's gonna be more in a profession, right? It would make sense rather than have like some way for you to create it yourself. So looking forward to that. The next thing is, from what they're saying at the moment, it's gonna be not only on the PC, but you're also gonna have it on the console games, which is the best decision I think they could possibly make. Really, um, why wouldn't they? Right? They essentially want to make sure that they have everything going for them at that point. Um, really focusing on every single type of market out there, and at the same time, it's not everybody that will have a gaming computer that they can invest in and really be able to play at the max capacity and quality in these beautiful games that they're making right now. So a console game just makes sense, right? It just makes sense. The next thing that they've been saying that they're gonna do is mounts. So rather than just walking from point A to point B, sorry, I said D. Apparently, I don't know my alphabet. And like we've been used to from Diablo 1, 2, and 3, you can actually use a mount, right? Just like you have in every other game when it comes to World of Warcraft, Zelda games, for crying out loud, Zelda games, you can take a mount and then go from point A to point B. So very welcome add-on to the game. Um, very much looking forward to that. The next thing that I want us to go over is the classes. So the gameplay, I'm really looking forward to see how they're going to be able to apply that. So the next thing that I want us to go over is the classes. So we've all heard of the Druid class. Um, Very nice class that I think everybody kind of missed in the Diablo games, which is essentially kind of like a hybrid class that you can shapeshift and take different forms. Mostly melee type class. I know people know it a little bit more based on World of Warcraft. This is a little bit different, but it's still there. You have the Barbarian, which has been around in every single one of the games, and the Sorceress, that's more often than none has been in some way or form there. So the last one that we had was the Wizard, but it's still a type of sorceress. It's just like an improved version of her, right? So these are our main classes right now. On average, they always have anywhere between 6 to 7 classes. So I'm really speculating as to what the next classes are going to be here. Uh, I'm I'm thinking of a couple of things here. So one of the things that they have to have, just based on the previous games, it's a class that would normally have a lot of pets. The main thing that I'm thinking about, obviously, is either another witch doctor, necromancer will be a nice fit, or here's my favorite, a warlock. So I don't know how feasible that is to have a warlock in Diablo 4. Probably not, but I would love to see it. I would love to see it. Back in the days when I started playing World of Warcraft, my first character back in 2015 was a warlock, or I should say 2005. Wow, time flies. So, I mean, I would love to play a warlock in Diablo 4. I don't see that happening anytime soon, but for sure they need some type of a class that has a lot of pets that they can go around and just create these vast armies and fight evil. Another one would be the Amazon. So going back to uh, Diablo 2, we did have an Amazon, which essentially specialized in spears, bows, and a lot of awesome, versatile fighting. I mean, she was spectacular. If you guys ever played with her, she was awesome. We haven't seen her ever since, and we've only seen her once. So she will be a nice add on. And the Bard, we only had him once through the whole series. So I believe that they're probably going to do something here with him as well. Are they going to necessarily add him? I really hope so. Um, every other character has been brought back in some shape or form in the Diablo franchise, except for the Bard and the Amazon. So looking forward to that. I believe that except for a class that will have a lot of pets, like I was saying before, I think they're going to bring back probably the rogue, right? So you have a rogue type class over here as an assassin in Diablo 2. Obviously, you have the rogue over here as well in Diablo 1. Every other class has, in some way, have been brought back and kind of played through two Diablo games and left out of one of them. So I believe that essentially the rogue class is the one that's missing here. Diablo 3 they didn't bring them back. I believe that really they're gonna have it in um, Diablo 4. So let me know what you guys think. Does that make sense what I'm saying? I think so. I think the rogue class is the next logical one here. So like I said, Number one will be some type of a class that will have a lot of pets that you can kind of form an army. The rogue class, I think, is very feasible. And for the last one, I'm really hoping either the Bard or the Amazon. So let me know what you guys think. Do you guys agree with my selection? Does it make sense what I'm saying? Um, I believe these are our three top choices, right? I could be wrong, but I really hope I'm not. The last thing here is the professions. We haven't really heard much about the professions right now. So, I mean, they've teased it a few times, and going back to what the Diablo 4 game was supposed to be uh, a couple of years ago before it got canceled. So they kind of had information that leaked that, pardon me, that was actually supposed to resemble more of a World of Warcraft type classes. I don't know how you guys feel about this, but classes are right now the professions in Diablo 3. It's essentially a little bit too easy. All you do to be able to level it up is give some gold. After level 12, you're maxed out. You never have to think about it ever again. There's no challenge, right? There's really no challenge. Um, I'm not saying this should necessarily make it that much harder, but a little bit more challenge wouldn't really hurt, right? Something like either making the mats a little bit harder, the leveling process a little bit more difficult, time consuming, or quite frankly, a little bit more challenging. Maybe there can be different types of, I don't know, NPCs that can be different type of um, professions, right? So maybe you can have, instead of having one person to be your blacksmith, maybe you can have a variety of, like, let's say 5 or 6 or 10, that you still have to get a different type of blacksmith for you not only to get the perfect recipes with the right mats to create it, but you need specific blacksmiths as well. So I don't know how they'll be able to implement something like that. I don't even know if it's possible, but still to put some type of a challenge in there. Um, that's that's something that I would love to see, honestly. Because let's face it, Diablo 4 is more of a game that you just go out and just kill mobs, right? So for you to spend a lot of time based on professions, not very realistic, but you still want to have it a little bit more challenging. So let me know what you guys think. These are my thoughts going over what we know so far and kind of speculating about certain other things. So leave your notes. Tell me if you liked it. We'll see you guys back in the next Diablo update. And like it if you liked it. Subscribe for additional content that's coming up. And thank you so much for watching.